guys, welcome to Home Truth Niger. Ah, it's been a very long day. I I'm sorry basically for not releasing content for the past 7 days. I made a promise to myself that I was going to be releasing content at least once or twice every week, but yeah, sometimes situations just gets the best of you, and you're trying to catch up. So for all of you, my English listeners, I am very sorry. To my French listeners, je suis désolé. To the Spanish listeners, lo siento. To my German listeners, es tut mir leid. Oder Entschuldigung. Der ganze Woche war sehr stressig, aber ich bin wieder zurück. Let's get. I'm back, guys. So let's go. So I want to talk on a different topic called different ways Nigerian men break up. So uh, throughout the week, I was getting messages, on ladies who were talking about or complaining about some weird behaviors they were observing from their Nigerian partner. These were behaviors that sometimes they find it unfathomable, and when I try to speak to them, I just sometimes get to tell them that okay, this is what is happening. Your Nigerian guy is trying to leave you, and sometimes some of them don't want to take what I'm saying, and sometimes they become very rude and aggressive. But that's the truth. Some become also dismissive when I try to tell them, okay, this is why he's doing this and everything. Because at the end of the day, it turns out to be true. It turns out to be true, right? So before I proceed, I would like to say the last two videos I did put out there on Signs in Nigerian Guys playing you, and also um, Signs in Nigerian Guys using you for visa. I got a lot of threats. Lots of threats as regards these two videos. There were a lot of threats. I got messages of people, telling me what they would do to themselves. Certainly not me. Lot of threats. It was scary at some point to read, but yeah, sometimes you just have to keep going and hoping for the best. At the same time, I got some good messages from wonderful ladies who told me how my content has been inspiring to them, and how they've used it to better themselves. I got also messages from lovely women encouraging me, to still keep on telling the truths. That is the name of my handle, Home Truths. I speak nothing but the truth, and I say it just as it is. So, having said that, let us proceed. So, breakup is in most cases is unavoidable, uh, in as much as sometimes it's a hard pill for us to swallow. But I mean, it happens. Most of us hearing my voice, we have been in one breakup in one way or the other. There's some of you who are still, you know, processing or going through or dealing with your breakup at the moment. And because breakup is something we all do not want. I mean, who falls in love and wants to break up from the one they love? This is something most people, especially ladies, dread of when they are actually in love with a particular guy. I mean, we all do not want to lose out on the sweet memories, and feeling we have for a loved one, and we all wish it could last forever. But I mean, that's not reality, because in reality, people change, uh, feelings change, emotions change, and hence, at one stage or the other, people would have to move on to the next level. And sometimes, if they feel you are not up to par to the next level, they will leave you behind. And that is when, you know, we start talking about breakup. So, today we want to know what are the different ways Nigerians tend to end a relationship. What are the different ways Nigerians tend to end relationship? So many women are confused as regards the state of their relationship with their Nigerian man. Some do not understand if they are in a relationship or not. Most of them are trying to figure it out. Some think they have it all wrapped up. They think they understand the situation. Later, they get to discover that they don't understand the situation. Some ladies have messaged me continuously about this topic. They really want to understand what is basically happening in their relationship. They want to know what their relationship status is at present, and that is why I would like to give few tips to my understanding how Nigerian men break up. Now, if there's one thing we seldom do in Nigeria as a Nigerian man is to break up. If you ask me why, I can explain to you why. I can tell you statistically, 1 out of 20 Nigerians, will look a lady in the eyes and tell her it's over, we're done. It's not something that is so common in our culture. This is something we see most of the times in movies. Movies where in the Western movies where a man would meet a lady and they're both crying and discussing you know why they want to break up and having closure and all of that. It's something we are not used to. At most, before a Nigerian man would write you a letter and explain to you why he's not interested in continuing the relationship with you. And with the advancement of technology nowadays, people can just send quick text messages explaining it, and that's it. We sometimes do not want to go into this one-on-one talk to avoid confrontation and emotional blackmail and all of that. So at most situation, we try our best to look for ways to which we can just um, do it our way, and the relationship comes to an end. So today I want to talk about the specific behavior that gives all the signal that your Nigerian guy is done with you, or on the verge, or is considering ending it all with you. Probably because he has found someone more better than you, or interesting. Now, the very first point is ghosting. Guys, this video may be a long one, so grab your popcorn. Now, this is the first sign most Nigerian men give when they are tired of a relationship and wish to exit. They gradually disappear and leave the scene. I would ask you ladies to go back and watch my video on, ghosting with Nigerian men. Now, you may see some signs of him before he ghosts you. You may see him not be available for things. So ghosting is very, very common. When the man is tired and he wants out, he just drops off the grid and he disappears completely on you. As a lady, you are left wondering, like, what could be the problem? You're confused. You're flustered. You're trying to think. Okay, we didn't have a fight. There was nothing serious so bad that would have warranted this behavior. All of a sudden, you just see him, ghost you. And I always say to ladies, when you see this happening, just move on. Just move on, because there's no point fighting over spilled milk. The second point I want to talk about is the blame it on life situation. Have you ever dated a Nigerian man who is always telling you that his current or present situation is not allowing him give his best in the relationship? Believe it or not, most Nigerian men use this as an excuse, to exit a relationship. I tell you this from experience. So many will tell you because of difficulties having, to study, work, cater for one thing or the other. It's really, really, taking away much of their concentration on focusing on you, blah, blah, blah. They tell you or give you these instances, and gradually they start acting weird. They make you feel like circumstances is the reason why your relationship is not thriving. They try to take everything away from the box and focus it on circumstances is the reason why your relationship is not flourishing. The truth of the matter is that he has no time for you. you're not his priority, and hence he doesn't consider you top of his scale of preference. When he doesn't consider you to be of priority, he would always blame life situation as the reason why he's not forthcoming or giving his best in the relationship. So, as a lady, it is very important to understand these cues and not to bother yourself thinking what might have happened. The moment you are dating a Nigerian man and he's always giving excuses or complaining about how this work here and there, busy, grinding, hustle, and all of that is making your relationship not to flourish, he doesn't consider you to be a priority. That's just the truth. We have a saying that a man who truly loves you would make out time for you. So if he doesn't consider you his priority, he would always use life circumstances to put it as a front why your relationship is stalling or not growing. Another point I want to talk about is grow he grows cold on you. This is another point that is very important. Your Nigerian guy grows cold on you. You start seeing him become unavailable, in a lot of things that initially you guys, used to do before. He stops calling or texting, and even when you do, he rarely picks. And when he picks, he has nothing much to say. Even when he comes to you or you guys spend some time together, he becomes so boring. He looks like a shadow or an opposite figure of the person you used to know. He doesn't talk to you like he does before. You basically do not know what is going on in his life. And when you are trying, to start up a discussion or bring something, it gives you this, sort of attitude that screams, "I am not interested in talking with you." These are signs. Another sign that this dude is tired. He wants to walk out. Uh, Last but not the least is taking a break. Taking a break. A lot of ladies, a lot of you, you've written me to ask me, what does he mean when he says take a break? Um, Taking a break in such a situation here is, you know, same as a Nigerian man, you know, telling you that, listen, I want to sort myself out. When a Nigerian man tells you he wants to take a break, he's trying to tell you he wants to sort himself out emotionally. At the moment, he doesn't know where he stands with you. It could be he's tired of you and does not just know how to, break off from you because he not understands it might hurt you. Probably he has promised you a lot and given you a lot of hope and assurance, uh, and he doesn't know how to come back to you to tell you know that, okay, everything I told you, I can't keep them. Every promises I made, I'm sorry, I'm going to break those promises. Or he understands how much you have invested and committed uh, in the relationship. So he's looking for a way whereby, the whole feeling, dies automatically from both of you. And then he quietly exits, from the scene. Or there are also cases where maybe he has a new girl in the scene and he's emotionally conflicted. He's confused on who to pick and how to handle it. Or perhaps he has decided to probably, focus on the new lady, and for him to focus on the new lady and not be caught on the scene or caught doing something like cheating, he has decided to tell you, let us take a break, because he knows that when he tells you, let us take a break, you automatically you assume your defense. That is to say, you're not going to want to call him, you're not going to want to text him or any of that. So this gives him leverage and liberty, to focus properly on the new girl without any interference. Just think about it. If he doesn't tell you anything and then he starts dating another girl, I mean, you will be calling, you'll be texting, you would want to know what is happening. And there are chances that the new girl may suspect that, okay, he has another lady on the side. So when he tells you this, take a break, he knows that you will cease from calling him, texting him, or any of that. This will give him complete focus with the new girl, so it stops you from basically interfering in the relationship. So, in conclusion, it is important to know that most times when a Nigerian, tells you either of these 4 points I've mentioned, they are either considering leaving you or are ready to move to another person. And I would always say to those of you who have, spoken with me or communicated with me, I've always advised you, don't go begging, don't, write, trying to understand what is happening in the relationship and all of that. You don't need to uh, act rude or be mean to him. Also, it is important to pick yourself, stay intact, and live live your life to the fullest. Be happy. Don't stop your life because of someone told you to take a break, or someone ghosted you, or someone grew cold on you. Granted, it is a painful thing to experience, but I would tell you the best thing to do is to continue living your life, make yourself happy, and see that experience as an experience that you are happy to have avoided. It is always better. My mom told me this: it is always better to have a broken relationship than a broken marriage. And so I would always tell you, ladies, love yourself. Don't go chasing after a man who is not interested in being with you. If he gives you these signs earlier and you're trying to make it work yourself, chances are you would do the same over and over again in the future. You will do the same over and over again in the future. So I always say, don't try to turn to one kind of Sherlock Holmes, wanting to understand why he's behaving a certain way. If he's doing this way, just live your life, go on with your life, and along the line, someone better, someone nice, someone cool, will come to you. So, guys, this is it for me. I'd like to say thank you very much for listening to this video. I think it's a very long one. I would try my best. I would try my very best to see that I put more content out. And for those of you who sent me encouraging messages, thank you so much. I love you all. I wish you guys a lovely, lovely weekend. Home Truth Nigeria. Peace out.